Okay, sorry. Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever the case may be. I did not mean to hit that button. I actually meant to send this invite out to a handful of people who were wanting to come in here and discuss this topic. So let me. Better late than never, I always say. Let me drop it in there. Paste. And paste. There we go. Anyone else I should send this to? Well, Doug Tenapple is an expert in this. Books. Alrighty. All right. Now let me head back to the channel, and then let me grab this over here. See if anyone knows what I'm talking about. Let's get some people in here. If you are here now, thank you for coming in. Let's say hello to some people when my chat populates. Brownie, Papa Kidney Soup, Giga. Hello. NNY Stroyer, Razmaz, Cuts Dawn, Hardware Wars. Thank you all for popping in. How do I pitch my book? This is gonna be an educational stream for those of us. Some of us are better at this sort of stuff than others, but we can definitely throw ideas around. And Slick Jimmy is in here, and he's going to help give us some of his sage advice or questions. We can just kind of work our way through this. How you doing, Slick?
I am still breathing.
Still breathing. That is always good to hear.
It is. It's better than the alternative.
And even though he's not here, I'm going to tell you exactly why this topic came to mind. Our good friend Critias, Anthony Malpica, he told me today that his character, because we're talking about doing another little piece of art, and he told me today about his character and how his trench coat has, like the power to like help him glide, so sort of not fly, but helps him move about with greater ease, and how he can reach into his trench coat and pull out any weapon that he wants to here, and he's got extra strength and stamina and blah blah. And he's telling me all these things that I'd never heard about this character before. And I'm like, dude, you just made him so much more interesting, because and tell me if this has been your opinion as well, all anyone thinks about with Detective Dead is a guy who like fell asleep or like was murdered, resurrected in the future, so time traveled, has a trench coat, shoots a gun. He's a detective, right? That's all. It was just, to me, it just he's a guy. He's just a guy, but he's a freaking legit superhero. He's just dressed up like Sam Spade. Jamie?
Well, I agree with you. If you don't necessarily tell people what your character is, what they can do, and have a good time with the things you're creating, then I know nobody else will.
Right.
Those who've heard me on other streams have kind of gotten to know Sugar a little bit in the world of Lost Speaks, because I tend to talk about it. And then occasionally I'll put out a tweet kind of describing some things, and let people get a little taste. But if you don't have
I suggested to him, I'm like, think of this like a kid. What is going to make someone excited to read this character? Right?
Yeah. If you don't make somebody excited about your character through description and giving them scenarios of what they might go through and that sort of thing, you got to hook people. It's important.
Yeah, that's right. It's the hook. You got to get them interested enough to discover all that other stuff. Welcome, Larry Holder.
Larry.
Or you could just sit there and not say anything. Larry, can you hear me?
I don't think he can.
Okay, Larry can't hear me. Larry, can you hear me? Okay, we're having some technical difficulties with Larry. So, Jimmy, give us the hook for Little Girl Lethal.
Well, I generally, I go to the lowest common denominator a little bit, the sex and violence, but you can couch it in different ways. But she's a sexy girl who lives in a very corrupt and violent world, so it sets up, a lot of conflict and so forth. And then I tell her people about how she's on a mission and that she's going to get retribution against those that hurt her, and a little bit about her backstory of where she came from and how she was abused, and then she was saved by an elite assassin, a killer, and trained to be a killer at the same time. And the more you get into it, you'll learn that she has powers, she has abilities that are beyond the normal ken of humanity. She can see the auras of people. She has been bonded with like a cosmic entity that allows her to do great things.
Okay, you're doing the same thing. You're giving a lot of and I've been guilty about this too, but because like it's not every story that I come up with or that anybody comes up with.
We're talking about like the general hook.
I mean the hook, man. I've got 20 seconds to pitch this guy. The elevator pitch, right? You're like
elevator pitch,
yeah.
That's a Sugar Lightspeed. She's a young girl, great megalopolis, and she's out to get revenge. She's easy on the eyes, but she's hard on everything else. There you go.
All right. Yeah, I've had projects that literally I created the entire thing because I came up with an elevator pitch. Right? The idea itself was the elevator pitch. Like Deal with the Devil. It's about a FBI manhunter who gets caught by his own suspect and maimed, sits in his home waiting to die for 4 years because he's lost his leg, he lost his family, he lost his friends, he lost his career, and he's just miserable, waiting to die. And a knock comes at the door, and it is that suspect who needs his help to save an innocent life. Right? I came up with that core idea, and I'm like, I set that aside. I'm like, all right, I'll build the story from that. But sometimes you come up with all these like little things, it's like, yeah, I want the hot chick, and I want the cool car, and I want this to happen. And then it's like you're trying to the quick pitch doesn't just formulate as easily. I'm like that with Lone Star. Lone Star for me, and it's in part because there's so much in Lone Star that I want to keep close to the vest. It's hard for me to do the elevator pitch. But in a case like that, you can come up with something like it's Captain America meets Blade. Right? Something like that.
Who we got?
Sean?
Yeah. Hey.
How
you doing? Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Great. Thank you.
Larry?
Larry.
Yay, Larry's on.
Hey. I wasn't getting any sound before.
It's now a party.
It's a party. It's a party in here. So, yeah, if were you guys listening to what I was saying?
No, I was trying to get the link to work.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hold on a second. Mark C for $10 says, "Be enthusiastic. Too many of you guys pitch very ho-hum. Figure out a 30-second hook and make me believe. You live your book like a sincere used car salesman." And then Papa Kanisu says, "Holy smokes, Mike, tell me that book is out." It's Comic Book Bob just put the link up. It's in the Meg Pack. And I guess I haven't been giving that pitch often enough. So, Larry, you were in here earlier. Tell us what you're doing.
Oh, okay, cool. I'm working on a book called Of Time and Space. It's the first chapter of it. It's called The Lunar Rise, and it's sort of like a fantasy sci-fi story. It's sort of in the same vein of, say, like something like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings. It's like a sort of straightforward adventure sort of story. So, yeah. That's basically what I'm working on right now in the basic pitch.
It sort of sounds like you don't know what it is.
No, I know what it is. I don't know if I
then-
should give away too much or not. But
Yeah, see, that's what I do
Yep.
with Lone Star, but it probably cost me a lot of sales because I couldn't give it that bam. This
Okay,
is what
well,
it is.
basically, it's a story that starts at the beginning of the universe, and then it goes forward to the dealing with this like one planet that's at the center of the universe, and it's basically its story from birth to finality, is what the entire story should be about. So this is just like the first part of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, while that does sound interesting, tell me what's going to draw me into the story.
What's going to draw you into the story? Well, if you like,
You gave me a cool
of-
setting, a great setting, and an epic thing. But tell me what's going to draw me into that story.
Well, if you like swords, sorcery, dragons, things like that, all of that's in there. There's high technology, low technology, sword fighting, things like that. So
who's your main character?
My main character in the first book is a character called Onazia. He's a angelos, which is essentially sort of like an angel, except that they have horns and black eyes, and they're like sort of the self-imposed master race of the world at the time the book takes place, and it starts out with them on their homeland, which is a floating continent, and some stuff happens, and he has to go down to the surface and interact with the people there, and it all sort of centers around they're trying the Angelos have become really tyrannical over the years of their rule.
You've lost me. You've lost me. You've lost the audience.
Yeah.
Right? This is what I'm saying. How do I pitch my book? You need to find what it is that is going to attract people to the concept right out of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not trying to give anybody crap for because I do this, like I said, I do this with Lone Star. I know my own faults. But Mr. Hellstorm says that's a lot to take in. Jeremiah Jones says zzz. So you want to hook him in. Who's the character again?
His name's Onazia. So.
Why do I care about him?
Why do you care about him? He's more or less the audience, I guess. He's sort of the person you see the story through. It's from his perspective, I guess.
So is he a watcher, or is he?
No, he's
force within the story that makes things happen.
He's the person who makes things happen in the story, I guess. So yeah. So
okay.
He's basically sent on a quest, and he has to find a specific person right at the beginning.
Why?
Because that person is the quote-unquote savior who's supposed to stop the evil forces in the world. So he has to find them.
Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So you have a savior character,
right,
who needs to be saved.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, that's a good start.
Yeah.
Cogitate on that.
Okay. Cool.
Donald.
What's up?
I mean, Donnie.
How you doing?
I'm
good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Yeah. Another day, another dollar.
Another day, another dollar. Right on. Rhaegar Targaryen has a very good suggestion. Make it clickbaity. If you can think of a clickbait single sentence that'll get people to be like, I want to know more about that. Always lead with that, right? A savior who needs to be saved. Obviously, that's a little too short, but that's a good seed.
Mm-hmm.
10 reasons why this savior needs to be saved. That's a clickbait title.
Say again, Sean?
10 reasons why this savior needs to be saved. and number 7 will blow your mind.
All right, let's not go that clickbaity.
Aw.
And Sean, which Sean is this?
This is Sean Campbell.
John Campbell. And what are you doing, brother?
I'm about a day or two away from launching the second issue of my comic, The Ferryman.
The Ferryman, and give us the clickbaity pitch.
I regret to say I do not, but I would like to help workshop one with this group of fine people, if you don't mind.
I can give it a shot.
Yeah, let's do it.
And that's the funny thing. Oftentimes, people who are not as close to the story are better at summarizing what makes it attractive. So
Oh,
it's
you are
good
not
that
kidding.
it's like little workshop type thing, right?
I would say that's definitely the case. Yeah.
The Ferryman's about, what I consider like a cop that goes in and deals with the afterlife in a technological world where they store the souls of people in a different reality, and then they can be brought out and you can inhabit the body of the living. It's pretty freaking crazy.
Yeah, but they're not
Damn.
supposed to be able to do that.
That's a good pitch.
But it's
Write that down, Sean.
it's like I got done reading his book and I was like, I want more of this.
Well, hopefully you'll get more.
All right,
That's the idea, right?
That's the idea. But
Sweet.
basically, but I was just thinking about the one we were just talking about. The main character you should probably think about the pitch through the eyes of the main character, or focusing on the main character. And the main character of my story is this guy who is what they call a recovery agent. He's the guy that when you die, he's the guy who shows up, downloads you and takes you back to the server. And at the end of the first story, he is attacked. His car is attacked, and he's left for dead, and all of his knight's haul of downloaded souls is stolen. And that's where the second one picks up.
Oh, okay.
And as he's recovering, he sort of starts to uncover that there's sort of a mystery about there's sort of secrets in this whole world, and there's a conflict brewing, and some of the people that have died aren't quite as dead as they seem, kind of thing. So I'm trying to work out a way now to sort of condense that, like we're talking about, into a little elevator pitch, and I'm having a lot of trouble.
Well, maybe work with Jimmy, because he summed up your first book pretty. I'm interested now.
Okay,
You should
great.
be. You should be. His book's awesome. I'm just
Right?
serious.
What does the chat think? Was that's a good freaking clickbait?
Yep.
That was good clickbait. Donald,
All right.
clickbait.
That was easy.
Clickbait Brutus for us.
Clickbait Brutus?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Brutus he's an intergalactic bounty hunter with a sociopathic robot sidekick that thinks it's human. And with no memory of his past, Brutus finds himself to be the bounty hunted by a mysterious figure from his past. And things start to unravel as that figure confronts him. And it's a crazy, fun space adventure story. It's got full of ultra violence, Trencher and Deadpool kind of comedy. And fans of books like Lobo, Pit, Deadpool, Wolverine, they're going to love this guy. It's a badass, toxic masculinity style book
Okay, all
that
right. You can
praises the
boil
90s.
boil all that down a little bit. Make it, just simplify it.
Simplify it into a tweet.
Well, because you don't have to explain like Lobo, Deadpool, etc. Just say it's a comedy, action, adventure, ultra violent romp through the life of a bounty hunter who has no idea who he is, and is somehow I'm losing train because I'm not really. But you know what I mean? It's like you don't have to give 12 examples of what a comedy adventure is. Just say comedy action adventure.
Soaked in
ultra violent.
testosterone. It's guns,
Yeah.
girls, and gasoline.
Testosterone. There you go.
It's
Yeah,
Brutus the
testosterone.
badass.
There, good, Jimmy, you're good at this. Testosterone-driven, ultra-violent comedy action adventure featuring
about a badass hunter.
about a badass. There you go. Yeah, something along those lines. You want to get in, punch the audience in the gut so they know that you're there, and then they want to know more. after your pitch, right? They want to hear your pitch, and they don't want to hear you pitch and then just keep kind of pitching and pitching and pitching until they start thinking, did I take the laundry out?
Is my house on fire?
I have to go wash my hair now. Mark P for $20 says it's the 24th century and Dirk Danger leads the Space Rangers, a group responsible for saving the Earth from incoming meteors. Read the adventure as an incoming meteor storm turns out to be an invasion. Good pitch, Mark C. Pitch.
Yeah.
My book's title, The Adventures of Dirk Danger and the Spacemen Rangers versus the Saturn Men.
Dirk
All right.
Danger.
Everybody check that out. Dirk Danger. He's got
Coming to a theater near you.
That reminds me, the just the title of his thing reminds me of something that Kevin Smith was talking about doing as a creator-owned book years ago, probably like a decade ago. And the only thing I remember about it is the title, and it was called Ranger Danger and the Danger Rangers.
It's a tongue twister.
Sometimes it's the title, man. Throw Mama from the Train. Right? It's
Again?
you get the pitch from the title.
Right. Home Alone.
What is that one? Mars Needs Women.
Yeah. Yeah.
Titles like that, right? That you're just like, well, I get it. You just told me what it is. Intergalactic Bounty Hunters. Let's see. So yeah, I have like my second book, Six Gun Samurai. I've tried to massage that pitch down, but it's about a 16-year-old boy raised as a sharpshooter and a samurai by his sharpshooting mother and a Ronin samurai. When his mother is killed, he discovers he's got a father who's been financially taking care of him his whole life, and he's sent to go find his father, but there are nefarious forces trying to take back the swords at any cost. So, make it short, make it quick. That may not be the absolute best way, because it is something you want to memorize, right?
That's
so anytime
bones.
anybody asks, you can just roll it out, right?
That's the bones. You do a real good one from that. I like that idea.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, Malin wants
It
to.
it also makes you ask like one really important question: what's so important about these swords? It's like it gets your mind on. Ooh, hey, now what's cool about these swords?
Yeah. There we go.
And I assume we're going to get to see them in action.
The link is in the chat. Is he not in the chat anymore?
Yeah, I don't know. Malin, it's in the chat. What are you doing? There's Malin. I'll give it to you specifically. Paste.
Look how special John Malin is. Gets his own link.
John Malin's
the same link
special.
you got. The same link you
He's
got.
so full of
Relax.
wolf milk. It's amazing.
All right, Larry, you want to try again? Have you been? You're right there, like scribbling notes, right?
Well, yeah, I'm trying to think it through, but anyway, I'm trying to think of a really easy way to explain it. So, yeah, a savior that needs to be saved. That's a good thing. It's a very complicated plot, and that's what I'm trying to boil it down into a couple sentences. Is really hard.
Here's the thing.
I'm
sorry.
That was the problem with Antonio Bryce. Was when he first started pitching Brand, I'm like, tell me what your book's about. And then 20 minutes later, I'm like, can you just tell me what your freaking book's about? And he's like just going through this complicated plot. And it's like, nobody wants the complicated plot until they're in the story, right? They want to know, why do I care? What about this would make me interested in even just reading it for free, because time is valuable, right? So I'm not going to go, if something hooks me and I'm like, oh wow, that sounds like you're aiming to intrigue your audience, right? And say like Jimmy just said, well, why do they want those swords? what's so important about those swords? You know, it's like hook 'em in. It was you, right, Jimmy?
That was
No,
me.
was
Or
actually
Sean.
Oh, all right, sorry. Let me see. A cold piece
We're-
says.
They often, get us mixed up, me and Sean. It's a common thing.
Here's a pitch. Johnny Lau, the world's best assassin, is manipulated into killing a kid. When Johnny refuses, he must now protect the kid in a deadly Texas town. Script, me, art by Ibai Canales. That's a good boiled down pitch, man. Good boiled down pitch. Ben.
Well, you say art by Ibai Canales, and all of a sudden I'm sold.
Well, yeah, a lot of times who you have on is a big part of the pitch. So yeah, you tell me something is drawn by freaking Carlos Pacheco. I'm like, I don't care who wrote it. I don't care what the story is.
Oh man, Pachico's so good.
How's everybody doing tonight?
What's up,
Hey
Benji?
Ben, how's it going?
What's
What's up, Hendo?
What's up, brother? I love the puppet so much. I love the voice, everything about it. I'm so glad you did that. It's one of my favorite things on YouTube.
Thank you.
Ben, have you been following the discussion?
I have not. I was at a barbecue, and but I know it's about pitching your book, right?
Yeah. Trust, not everybody knows how to massage out the vital elements so that you can give that 10, 20, 30-second pitch and just get someone wanting more,
And get excited about it. You have to feel it. If you can't get excited about your own work, who's going to get excited about it for you? I mean, you got to, and you take a lot of time crafting that. Like Ravage's, two men crash in an uncharted jungle populated by a lost tribe of warrior women that hunt and kill men. They must find a way to adapt, survive, or die trying.
There you go. Boiled down.
The master here.
Yep. You got all the meat off of that, and it's just the bones.
Yep. Think of a movie poster, kind of like the poster is what I do. Like if you want to describe it.
Dispatch Center. I'm not gonna read that. Ridiculous. I'll address it though. We are all responsible for ourselves,
Right.
not our. Thank you. End of discussion on that. Yeah. Right.
And that's in America. That's a very American tenet. You're not. It's not collective punishment in our country.
That's right. No gulag here. Sorry, there's no gulag.
Nope. And yeah, I mean, you could learn a lot from a lot of different people in Comicsgate. That's the good thing. I mean, everybody has different perspectives. We have some great pros with us. We have indie guys. We have guys that are good at business, guys that are good at branding.
Yep, absolutely. So you didn't hear earlier, but the reason when I started this, the reason I decided to do this, I wanted to get Critias in here because Critias told me today, because we were talking about doing another piece of art for Detective Dead, and he told me today, he's like, well, he's got I try to do it in Critias's voice, but I'm not. He's got this coat, his coat like helps him to like float basically, and he can Donald has flushed himself down the toilet. I'm sorry.
Wow.
It did sound like it.
So Curtis is like, oh no, maybe he did.
Christmas.
And he's like, yeah, he can reach into his coat and pull out any weapon that he can think of, and he's got like extra strength. He's like super strong, and he can do. He's telling me all of these freaking superpowers, and I'm like, dude, how long have you been pitching this book? And all anyone in this community sees is some guy that died in the 20s or 40s, transferred
right about that.
And he's got a gun.
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
This is Spawn meets freaking Sam Spade. You gotta pitch it like you're a 10-year-old kid.
You're
and
right.
What is cool about this character? Because now I'm excited about this character.
Yeah, me too. Right. And think of a pitch for your different demographic. That whole Spawn meets Sam Spade, that got me. But my boy may not know who that is. But he's a new Spawn detective. That with an amazing magic cloak.
Now, Kanisu wants to know what the heck was that? It's Detective Dead. Detective Dead needs a whole new pitch because Critias, like you guys, man, he gets caught in the weeds. He's so invested in the totality of the story that he can't just shake all the superfluous stuff and get to what someone really would want to know about the character and why they would want to jump into this story, right?
I think that's how I feel about Brutus. I just want to describe everything. You had no idea how much cool stuff is coming up in this book.
Yeah.
You know how Gene Roddenberry pitched Star Trek? Oh, excuse me. Star Wars. Star Trek. He said it was wagon train in space.
Yeah.
That's all he said. To Paramount. And he got his budget,
All right. I think you can pitch Battlestar Galactica as Exodus in space.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Well, you're right. They got lost, and they wandered.
Stories. You can take all kinds of different stories and just add in space to them, and it just becomes a whole different thing.
That's true.
It's lost in space.
Space.
In space.
It's Harry Met Sally in space.
Yeah. What was that one with Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence? That's kind of like that, just the romance.
Passengers.
Passengers. Yeah, that's really.
Alien Xenomorph now wants to attach me to someone else's problems. Hey, man, I'm responsible for me. Everyone else, you can super chat me. I'm not going to read that kind of crap because we're not about dividing people here. Okay, so go away.
We're all about love and fun.
Water world in space, Dynamos. John, give us the quick pitch for Graveyard Shift.
Oh, shoot. Okay, so I'm rusty, guys. I haven't pitched this in a while, and my brain is like a sieve. So, but I have to start with when I first tuned in, I heard Mike say not to use something like Lobo, but I disagree because one of the strengths, I think, when I was pitching Graveyard Shift is the high concept. Mm-hmm. And one of the biggest hooks I think for Graveyard Shift was, what if the Universal monsters were the X-Men? To me,
I'm not saying I'm not okay. In Donald's case, that's I wasn't saying that. If he was to take the concept of, all right, it's Lobo
meets
in space.
Yeah. In space.
No, he was the gist of what he was saying was, don't give 15 examples when you're saying it.
Yeah. But if you're
the one is fine.
It's Lobo meets Blade Runner meets Clockwork Orange, right? Mm-hmm. Then you're like, oh, how does that work?
Yeah. With Graveyard Shift, Universal monsters were X-Men. I get it. it. That's all I need to for me to start thinking about it. And they're like, okay, now pinch me your story in that universe.
Yeah. And that high concept part that you guys can toss out, if you can boil it down to that kind of essence, which, and I want to credit Mark as well, because I mean, this is so long ago, I don't know who brought it up, but let's say it's Mark. But that boiled down essence of those two properties, I think, is the quick jab in the nose. Like, that gets your attention. Boom. Okay, got it. Then after that, you start rolling out the carpet a bit. And again, I'm rusty on the pitch, but it was something along the lines of scientists forced into their own experiments, become members of the undead, given superhuman abilities, must fight this, rising darkness, from taking over the world. So, and then if you still have people's attention, then you can go in even further detail, and you're going for like the big picture, and then a little closer, a little closer, a little closer. You're zooming in a little bit each time, and then and also when you have the pitch, especially how you work on YouTube, you need to have really about 3 pitches kind of ready, and never ever read them, guys. It doesn't. If you have to read it, it doesn't sound like you gave enough about your property to even memorize, a paragraph about it.
Right.
So yeah, you eventually need to come up with about 3 pitches, because over the course of 2-3 hours, when you're in these long form conversations with people, you want to have something else to give them, and something else to give them, and something else to give them. So
And eventually, if you have those 3 pitches memorized, eventually you're probably going to end up with 7 or 8, because you're going to be combining those 3 in different ways. So that's a good suggestion.
Yeah, but definitely have that core, whatever, 2 or 3 pitches. Have that kind of set aside so you're ready to go.
It's a good idea. I'm going to try to remember that for the next campaign.
And the other thing of the pitch, I would say, is the best, probably one of the most important things is almost like what Mike was saying. The name recognition of an artist is important, but it's when you send somebody to that link to your Indiegogo, you have to have 5 pages on there, whatever,
at least
that are hot fire. The absolute best that you can do. Make them as exciting as they can be, as visually interesting as they can be, but still clear storytelling. So
and it needs to encapsulate what your book is about. If your book is an action adventure type of story, it needs to show some sort of action in those 5 pages. If it's a romance, it needs to display the storytelling that's going to be in the book.
But what you don't want to do is a diner scene where all of your characters are sitting around eating
Giordano's.
Or even just standing there. Just standing there, unless it's executed masterfully.
Eating pizza with a fork.
No, I agree.
If anybody wants to super chat your pitch in the thing, I will read them. So Orbital Goat for $10 says, abandoned by his crew, one man must fight for his survival, armed with only a pencil. Follow his journey as he slithers from the Amazon. Will he make it back to take revenge? Read Beyond the Wick.
Beyond the Wick? Is this like John Wick 4?
With a pencil. I kind of like it. Now, will he kill everybody with just a pencil? That's pretty cool.
It does sound interesting.
All right, Larry, have you worked it out yet? I'm constantly putting Larry on the spot here.
Yeah, well, I've been working out my internet anyway, but I haven't really been hearing most of the people, so I think I can hear everybody now. But
okay.
Yeah.
Rewind the episode.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I have been sort of like trying to type some stuff out here. So what I got is in the darkest hour, the people call for a savior, but in this world, even the savior needs saving. That's what I got so far.
Well, I like that.
Yeah, that's not bad.
You have to say it like in the darkest hour.
Yeah. I gotta get the movie guy voice. But,
In a world. Get Edwin in here to do your pitch.
Yeah, you need Jimmy to.
Yeah,
Jimmy
that's right.
Read it.
In a world filled with all kinds of stuff, he comes. This guy. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure, Larry, exactly what we're doing with your thing yet. So, yeah, when you get it down, I'll do it for you.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, I got a couple of super chats. Muerta for $2 says, "Thank you, Ben."
You're welcome.
And Downshift for 2 Canadian says, "I need money for beer and pizza." Any good?
Don't we all?
Don't we all? Indeed.
Sounds like Kieran Shake.
But if you want to put that on a piece of cardboard and go stand out in the street, I'm sure that'll help.
Or just put it on GoFundMe. Works for other comic professionals.
Professor Geek says, "Great panel. Nice to see Sean and Jimmy showcase too." Geek, you want in here? I got room.
Bring in the man.
Don't mention of me. Thanks, anyways. Appreciate it. Feeling the
We
love.
love you, Donald. You know.
Wait, what'd you say, Donald?
Nothing important, Mike.
He was like, he didn't get validation from you. So
I didn't hear it.
This puppet's face is just hypnotic. I can't stop looking at it.
Well, thank you. It is sexy.
It's like a mix
I
between
didn't say
Bert
that.
and Ernie. It's like strange.
Should I bring the puppet on?
I don't know
Yes.
if George is there. Where is?
Not
Can I get
Nasser
the puppet
said.
to read the pitch for my con?
Hold on, I'm going to interrupt real quick because this has to do with me. But Nasser Rabadi said, because he's out at C2E2, he said he apparently talked to Rob and he said, Liefeld told me today that he loves John Malin. Nice. Thank you, Nasser. So for those that don't know, I used to work with Rob. So, we've always been very friendly. But recently, he might have ran like a block bot or something because I was blocked from his Twitter. But nothing but love for Rob. I don't want anyone to say anything to him or deal with him. But Nasser, nice. Thanks for throwing out that olive branch.
Nasser, get in here. We need to work on your pitch.
That's true. That's true, Naz.
Yeah, Nasser will read it though.
It's boiled down Trixie King.
Yeah, but Nasser's capable of memorizing stuff, and he's got to work on this. Nasser, don't just put the link in. Get in here. Jeez.
Take away his wrench, Mike.
I know, right? I'm about to take your wrench, dude, if you don't get in here.
Is he still at the con, I wonder?
I'm busy right now. You're not busy enough that you can't be in the chat spamming your Indiegogo link. Get in the thing.
Can I show? Maybe I showed this last night. Can I show you guys the best piece of art? I'm getting a big gold, huge frame. It's going to be huge in my house. You want to see it?
No.
Sure.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah. What is it?
Is that a Rabadi?
No, that's Chuck Dixon. That is El
Oh.
Barco, Bane's dog.
Oh, look at that. Chuck Dixon, world famous writer, can draw better than Nasser. What the crap? Nasser, you got to get your drawing skills up now too.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
El Barco.
El Barco.
Tell Chuck he needs to make a couple of T-shirts out of it. I'm sure people would buy it.
I'm getting it tattooed. Everybody thinks I'm kidding, but it's not true. I'm getting it tattooed. Nolan got made a Bane for me. And little El Barco is going to go right on the bottom, right on my back.
That's going to be your tramp stamp.
That's your tramp
That'll be my
stamp.
tramp stamp, El Barco. Yeah.
Nolan? Which Nolan?
Grant Nolan made a Bane for me.
Oh.
And then
Nasser said he's about to email Ed McGuinness. You believe that? Look how quick he moves. Nasser, I don't know. My advice is, look, guys, it's just like dating a chick, you know, especially if you're going to see that chick tomorrow, maybe wait a few days after the initial contact before you write them.
3-day rule.
Yeah. You don't want to look desperate, Nasser. You want to look like you're interested, but not that interested.
Right.
Yeah.
This is valuable lessons, not just within business. This is dating advice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's right.
He gets the phone number from a chick and he's calling her as soon as he walks out the store.
That's right. That's right.
Then again,
how are you?
then again, who am I to give him advice? Because he's got Martina Markota, on a string.
It's true. It's pretty, impressive.
Mm-hmm.
I got a super chat here from Mark C for $10. Not officially promoting my book, only 10 pages in. I won't promote until it's finished, but I love getting people as excited about the book as I am. Dude, promote while you're working on it every flipping day, dude, until you're finished. Promote.
I started more than a year out before I launched my campaign. I certainly haven't done as well as some of y'all here, but I did okay, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, and get yourself a Wix account or a MailChimp or something, somewhere you can build up an email list, and then every time you get somebody excited about it, get them on that list so you can hit them when you are ready.
Right. We have about half of both of our books done, The Wraith and Offworlder, and we're already starting to make videos, with multiple different video producers to get people excited. We're going to put it up on the website and just talk about the story as much as possible.
Mike, I know you've been pushing the email idea. Is that, I wonder how many people, is that still something that's pretty viable? Do you see a real effect from that? Do you see some feedback from the email lists?
I think I get something around a 24% click-through rate on emails.
What are you using?
Prettiest go, MailChimp.
I am using what about Constant Contact, and I get about that too, about 24%. I'm looking right now.
Yeah.
Nice.
So hey, it's that's probably a better percentage than ever watch me on a live stream.
Critish says his headphones are messed. I can only hear Mike. So.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I had a 30% rate, 19% click rate, and that translated to 2,200 on my campaign.
There you go. So, Professor, yes, it works.
I guess I know what I'm doing after the stream.
It is vital. Well, my friend who has been doing Kickstarters for a living, actually Kickstarters and Indiegogo, because he always goes Kickstarter first, and then after the Kickstarter's done, he goes into Indiegogo because the Indiegogo remains a store. Right?
I'm doing that.
Yeah, so that's been his program. He's been doing it. He makes $500,000 every time he does a freaking thing, and he's like, "Don't launch whatever campaign you're doing until you have a mailing list of at least 4,000 people."
Wow.
And so that's what I was doing before the whole YouTube thing. That's what I had been doing. I was trying to build an email list. I was, it's going to take a long time to get up to 4,000 people. I was collecting names at conventions, fans and whatnot. And then this whole new paradigm just kind of kicked me into a secondary gear. But I'm not ignoring that business model as well. I want to use every avenue possible and practical.
Billy Tucci is doing that, I think, and I was going to be watching his campaign to see how well it does. Because that was an interesting idea.
Professor Geek.
Yes, sir.
Pitch your book.
Tales from the Stacks. Yes.
Yeah, the short and sweet elevator pitch.
Okay. Now you pay attention this time, Mike, because last night I asked you to pitch it in Rod Serling's voice, and your quote was, "I have no idea what this book's about."
You don't make your pitch interesting enough, Michael.
Oh, my fault. Okay, I see. Tales from the Stacks is an anthology series in the spirit of Twilight Zone or Tales from the Crypt. We have our mysterious old librarian welcoming us into the inner stacks of the library, which he says is like a brain. We keep those stories that are a little too disturbing for us to hear. We keep them filed away. And he will tell us 3 tales. We will follow 3 young 10-year-old boys into the dressing room of a sideshow exotic dancer at a carnival. We will try to protect a family home from 2 young ladies from witch hunters on the prowl, and we will stalk a burlesque performer with a lot of secrets behind her. So really great uncanny tales. If you like those kind of anthology series, then you definitely want to check out Tales from the Stacks.
Sounds like it's a biography about Nasser and Martina.
I'm not paying licensing.
Yeah, it's hard with anthologies, right? Because it's the same problem I run into with trying to sell 3 books on one Indiegogo.
Yeah.
Right? You're spreading
Yeah,
your.
but you have the central character of the librarian, so you can sell him as a crypt keeper Elvira type.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not quite as sexy as Elvira, but yeah.
No, but that's the again what we're going for is the clickbait. What's the clickbait for your story, right? What's going to make somebody read 14 words on a cheap little ad and go, "Oh, that looks interesting,"
Very true.
Hey, Edwin.
Hey, aloha. I had myself muted. I wanted to come hear some groovy book pitches, hear these ideas.
I don't think there's ever been this many people on Mike's show at one time.
Really?
Yeah, this is a full house. Yeah, other than Drawn and Quartered.
And Friday Night Auctions.
Yeah, well, those don't count. This is just a regular Mike show.
So there's probably only about 8 stories, and if you're pitching abstract concepts, you're pitching locales and stuff like that, it's interesting. But there's only about 8 stories, and your challenge is to realize which story you're telling, and then realize it. pick your focal point so you can connect somebody to it. You've got to have an emotional and cognitive anchor to connect the potential reader to it. Realize what you have and run with it.
Edwin, do you
Yes.
have the scripts I sent you for the commercials right there?
Let me see. Let me pull up my Twitter Magoos, and I'll probably have it. Let's see. Mike Smiller. Where's Mike Smiller? Oh, brother.
Let's
Don't,
see what
don't ever say that again.
see
Don't
what
ever say that again.
a quick pitch sounds like from the mouth of an angel.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, but with that said, guys, if you listen to my voice, it's like nails. And if I get excited when I'm talking about something, I sound like the fakest door-to-door guy. And I've done door-to-door, and I was terrible at it. So if your voice is
vacuum cleaners, didn't you?
if you don't have a voice like Jimmy or Ben or someone that when they get excited about it, people want to kind of withdraw from you, then you need to be sure that your pitch is, that it's like knives, that it's delivering the lethal blow and every word you say. So not everyone has that gifted radio voice, Edwin included, for having it.
Sounds like John's just calling me out. You have something to say about my voice?
No. Actually, no, Donald. I think your voice is all right. I don't know about your excited voice, but
I'm married,
yeah,
Joe.
when people
I'm
say,
married.
"Yeah, get excited about it," I understand. But some people, when like me, yeah, it can actually work against you. Because they'll be like, God, this guy's psycho.
Legit, my excited voice when I get heated, it sounds pretty much like my puppet, Donnie Thumb and Fist.
Is that right?
my mom's accent sort of comes out.
New Jersey. You sound like a jerky boy.
She's from Chicago.
Oh, Chicago.
And when she gets heated, she sounds like that, and I picked it up.
All right, so which one do you want me to do, Mike? You want me to do Deal with the Devil?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, here we go. All right, this is cold. Okay. Anthony Goodwin, an FBI manhunter who finally cornered his greatest enemy. Or did he? Trapped, maimed, left to die. He loses his leg, his job, his faith, pushes away his friends, his family. He sits alone in his apartment and waits for death to knock on his door. Then it does. The man who ruined him offers Anthony a chance for redemption or revenge. One will save the life of an innocent. One will cost him his soul. What price will he pay to make a deal with the devil?
Woo! Guys, anytime you lose your leg, be sure you find it.
What? You gave me chills, Edwin. That was good.
That was good.
Yeah. Anybody see that Private Parts movie where Howard Stern is like, lay your speaker down, now straddle it.
Oh yeah.
Turn the bass all the way up. Like, Edwin. Okay, let me get the speakers going.
All right, do Six Gun. I want to hear that now too.
Right, let me take a slower.
Hold on, let me lay the speakers down.
Six Gun Samurai is probably a slightly different voice. Slightly different voice for Six Gun Samurai. Let's see what we got. Hang on. Let me pull this Bad Johnson back up. Do. For some reason, when I open up the pitches in like a larger image, they're all grayed out. All right, so this is Six Gun Samurai. Here we go. Sharpshooter, samurai, 16 years old. Sam is raised in the Western Sideshow Circus by his gun-slinging mother and trained in the ways of Bushido by his Ronin samurai mentor. When Sam loses his mother, he is told of a father who has been supporting him from afar all his life. But finding his father became a treacherous journey as he is hunted by a band of men determined to steal his legendary samurai swords at any cost. Bullets, blades, and blood fill the pages of this East meets West adventure as we see what life means to the six-gun samurai.
I love it.
Guys,
Yeah.
if you lose your mother, be sure you find her.
Hey, man, Mike, that's a cool story, man. I love the mashups like that.
Yeah, thank you.
I was
Yeah,
hearing
It's worth a
the
lot of money, John.
I was hearing the spaghetti western whistle in the background as he was
Yeah.
reading. It's nice.
Right. With the samurai sword, and that'll be a cool movie, man.
Well, it's available on themegcomic.com if you want to jaunt on over there. The link is in the description.
Remember, it's spelled DECTIVE. Dead.
Radius, finally.
Right.
My computer was bugging out. The mic, I couldn't hear you guys talk.
So I've been using you as an example of what not to do the whole stream.
Oh
Is
man!
it okay?
I
Got
bet
ya.
my pitch.
He got you.
Antonio,
Yeah.
tell everybody. Tell everybody Detective Dead's powers.
Oh yes. So you want me to do it with my pitch or just jump into his powers?
Did you massage a new pitch?
I'm
Let's-
trying.
yeah,
to,
let's-
I'm
let's
working
hear
on something
you.
right now.
Let's hear your new pitch.
All right, it's a work in progress. All right. So it was
Okay.
a detective who was murdered in 1932 is resurrected in modern-day Rusty Belt City to stop criminals from his past. It's basically what if Batman was a 1932 detective resurrected in modern-day Rusty Belt City but has attained otherworldly powers to stop criminals from his past with unique abilities, including the men that murdered him and his long-dead family. That's what Detective Dead is in a nutshell. So imagine if Batman can jump through shadows, heal, track anyone or anything by touching the last place they've been, glide extraordinary long distances, and have the strength of about 10 men. And he can also draw nearly any weapon from inside his trench coat while fighting against villains with powers that can compare to his own.
Too long, you get bored.
That's about it. Ready to.
Too long. It's too scattered. What I was saying earlier was I heard Batman in there twice. There should be one, and it should probably be at the top because
Right.
that's what people are going to identify with first. So you want to get that high pitch out first, which is usually like one sentence.
Okay.
What if Batman was blank? So then you put in another reference. What if Batman was, I don't know, some kind of supernatural character, something a little bit closer to that sort of ability that it has. And then from there, then you
shadow.
So like,
yeah, what if Batman was? Well, he kind of is.
So like, what if Batman had Spawn's cape, you know, and what if he's like the Shadow and stuff like that?
Nah, because I think those are a little too close to each other.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said Spawn meets Sam Spade.
Okay.
Even
Yeah.
though-
What if Batman had the power of an immortal?
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah, that's got a lot of flavor to it.
Yeah.
And then you kind of break it down as you get after you get that high pitch out. Then you kind of break it down into more of the specifics. And once you brought back Batman the second time, I was like, yeah, this is too much.
Yeah.
So get it all down to one simple paragraph, and a paragraph is only like what 3-4 sentences.
Yeah, I try to keep my
About 2 or
pitches
3.
to 2 sentences. 2 sentences.
Mhm.
The setup and the conclusion.
Right. I had a movie pitch that I was working on that Doug gave me some advice, but I was trying to see if I can get more details. I guess I screwed it up there.
No. Details. You lose interest with
Right.
details.
'Cause
Yep.
the-
People have to ask you for details. They have
Right.
to be so interested in what you offer them that it makes them want to know more. John, the reason I mentioned Critics, I don't know if you were here earlier when I said that, today for the first time, because Critias and I are talking about doing another piece of art for Detective Dead. He's like,
Right.
he started describing these powers, right? He can move through shadows. His cape or his trench coat helps him to float or to fly. He can pull weapons out at, any weapon he can think of, he can pull out, and he's like stronger than blah blah. I'm like, why didn't I know any of this stuff? You've been pitching this book
How long has this campaign been up? And I'm just
years.
now finding out about all his powers.
Right.
Yeah,
All
I actually knew all that. To Curtius's credits, in my presence, he has brought those things up. So
Yeah, mine too. I didn't know about the strength, but the other stuff, yeah.
Yeah,
you
I'm like,
launched this.
it should be, you know, if you're 10, 12 years old, what is going to make you want to read this book? Because it is a superhero. He's a superhero. He's not just some detective out of time, which is all I thought it was.
Right. Yeah. I got that a lot today.
But would any of that knowledge really have helped you with the perspective on that alley, though, Mike?
All right. Here.
Mike.
Your house, Mike.
I'm just joking, Sonny.
The perspective was actually good on that. And
Yeah,
can I have my wrench
I'll
back,
mention
please?
it.
Thank you, Nasser. No, you can't. Even Von Scriber
What did I do?
says, Mike, I have an idea for a comic about a ninja with no head. I call it the Headless Ninja. Mike, how's my? Well, it is short and to the point. Particularly,
It's
short.
it's a head short.
It's a head short. That's where I was going with that. Nasser,
Yo.
your pitch is terrible.
Okay, I'll give you the new one.
Hold on,
right,
let me break it because I was holding off on this from in the chat. Spike and Madness said Malin sounds like the quintessential '80s movie bully.
Ooh.
Thank you, Spike. Thank you,
Sweep the
Spike.
leg, Johnny.
Yeah, thank you, Spike. It means a lot.
So Malin
It's
is
all I
Johnny,
ever wanted. It's all
You're
I ever
Johnny.
wanted to be.
Hey, Malin.
Mm-hmm.
After I told Liefeld that
One
we
piece of
had
advice that mailing game that was really good.
Oh,
was,
shut up, Critias. I was talking.
And your campaign page to add that.
Critias, I'm going to mute you.
that one sentence
Probably can't
pitch
hear you.
Okay, so Malin.
on your
So
tagline.
shut up, Critias. Anyways,
Mute me, Nasser?
so Malin, I was talking to Rob and I gave him Stardust and then I gave him a promo for Blood Reaper and it had your cover on it. And I was like, and we have a John Malin cover. And he's like, I love John Malin. And I was like, yeah, I'm buddies with Malin. I always ask him what it was like working with you. And then he said, you guys had a lot of fun times and stuff. And then he said he'd retweet my project, but he hasn't done it yet.
Oh, well, look, man. I mean, if he does, he does. If he doesn't, don't take it personally.
And he meets tons of people at those conventions. I always see him smiling at everybody, and everybody feels like his friend, and thousands of people. So
and he recognizes that. That's a real gift of Rob too. Is he will recognize people years later, and he'll be like, "Yep, I remember that conversation." I mean, he's one of those guys. Like his mind, man, it's on a different level from me. So that's again why I think Rob should really be an ambassador for a company like Marvel Comics, and why they don't do this, I'm just lost.
I hadn't seen him in years. And I saw him at Orlando MegaCon, and there was hundreds of people lined up to see him. And I just sat there. I wasn't in the line, but I sat there eating. I was watching the whole time, right? Just to see how a pro does it. And he made every single fan feel important. Took a picture, shook his hand, smiled. It was nice.
Yeah.
All right, Nasser, let's hear it. And Curtis, can you hear me at least?
I can hear you.
And you can't hear anyone else?
Oh, let me see. I hear Donald. Let me see.
Do you hear me? Can you hear me, Chris?
Yeah, I hear you.
You're doing all right.
No, it sounds like you hear everybody now. Nasser, say something.
Beep boop.
Yeah, I got everybody now.
All right,
Maybe
you're
it
good.
was just psychological.
I'm just trying to block out Nasser's voice.
Yeah, that's understandable. Nasser,
Yes.
let's hear your new pitch.
All right. Trixie watched her mother die and blames her father. Will she? When the time comes, will she save him?
And vampires and stuff.
Vampires and stuff.
Hey, I kept it short and sweet and to the point.
Yeah, that really tells me nothing about the story. It really doesn't do anything to draw me in.
Do you guys want to hear? I wrote up something that might be a little bit better than what I did earlier. Would you like to hear it?
Yeah, hold on. Let me turn you up first, buddy.
Yeah,
why do you get so quiet, Jimmy?
I don't know. It's just my voice. And
don't get shy on us. Let's go.
All right, go ahead.
In a Titanic megalopolis on the knife edge of an unknown Armageddon, one beautiful yet terribly dangerous girl, heir to uncanny abilities, is the catalyst for epochal change. But is she going to save the world or utterly destroy it? The maiden of mayhem, damsel of destruction, angel of apocalypse. Her name is Sugar Lightspeed, the little girl lethal.
That's good, except for the words you can't pronounce.
I can pronounce them. It's just I'm a
little long.
Yeah, it could be Yeah.
See, I don't know, man, because look, Jimmy has one of the best deep voices, and when you get up and you get excited, I mean, your pitch might even be stronger with that Edwin, or just a little bit slowed down or less excited on it. So
Edwin, I just DM'd you something. If you take a look at it, let me know if you think it's cool or not.
Okay. Let's see.
Malin and Ben have the best.
Let me say real quick how much I love Jimmy's voice. So when we did the Christmas Carol cut, man, there was a line in there. I think it belonged to Mike. It was one of the gentleman lines, and
I think you're right. Yeah.
Jimmy's voice was so freaking good and deep and creepy. I gave him Mike's other line. I was like, man, because it didn't matter whose mouth it came out of. But I was like, man, when he talks this, like, I'm just like, I'm crawling. I'm like, whoa, this dude talking, at least in my head, is one intimidating dude, man. Dark.
Get a little gay, John. Get a little gay.
John's wolf notes.
I tell you, man.
It's like if
Jimmy's got the talent in his voice. He's just like Edwin. Like,
all right, hold on.
Going up high is a little bit too much.
Okay,
what?
Hold on. Jimmy, take it again, slow and sexy for John.
All right.
Yeah.
In a Titanic megalopolis on the edge of an unknown fudge.
Yeah.
Read it.
Language.
Read it in your mind a couple words ahead of what you're saying.
All right, thank you. In a Titanic megalopolis on the knife edge of an unknown Armageddon, one beautiful yet terribly dangerous girl, heir to uncanny abilities, is a catalyst for apocalyptic change. But is she going to save the world or utterly destroy it? The maiden of mayhem, the damsel of destruction, the angel of apocalypse. Her name is Sugar Lightspeed, the little girl lethal.
Too many descriptions, you get bored.
Whoa, snap!
That's fine. I'll take it.
I don't know. I liked it. I mean, maybe a little shorter, but it was intense. Made me see the world and global destruction. That's always pretty neat.
Everybody loves utter destruction.
Clip that. Global destruction is pretty neat.
Pretty neat.
Oh, I guess is a meanie. The chat doesn't like you, Nasser.
So who's next?
Oh, sorry.
Unless you guys want to bash.
I've actually got Nasser's pitch. I've actually got Nasser's pitch here in just 2 seconds.
All right. Let's.
Nice.
Yeah, if only Mike gave me my wrench back, I could put it in the chat. He said, "Get on here, I'm taking it away." I came on here, my wrench is still gone.
Hey, why don't you cry about it a little bit more? Maybe he'll give it
All right,
back.
let's see if let's okay. All right, respect Mike's show. Respect Mike's show. All right. Are you ready, Nasser? This is your pitch. Just reword it a little bit. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Trixie Kane has carried an ember of hate for her father her entire life. Trixie blames her father for dragging her mother into his war against evil and nightmarish creatures. Now that same evil has captured her father, and Trixie is the only one who can save him.
Nice hook at the end there. I like that.
Lame.
Was that Nasser?
No, that wasn't me.
That was me. I'm just kidding. That was good.
Yeah, Nasser, people just want to care, and you don't give them anything to care about.
Who's clipping their nails?
I don't know. I think Nasser's biting his nails.
I always bite my nails, but that wasn't me.
Delicious.
Shut up, Critias.
Everybody likes a little chitin now and again with their diet.
Yeah, Nasser, remember the part in the Save the Cat book about saving the cat?
Yes.
You threw the cat to the fire.
The whole point of that, right, was that you do want your audience to care about the character. And I know you heard a lot of this criticism in the chat earlier today, but we're just going to bring it out and voice it for the public to hear. So,
plot twist: he never read the book.
I did read it. I thought a lot of it was bullcrap, but it had a couple good points.
I got a new one, Mike. I got a new one.
All right. Bring it in, Critias.
All right. Joel Scorn, in 1932, detective finds himself resurrected in modern-day Rusty Belt City. Unfortunately, he discovers that criminals from his era are also alive, running about with superpowers, including the man who murdered him and his long-dead family. Now Joel must master his newly discovered powers to bring an end to the tyranny of these powerful
All right,
players.
stop, Critias. You want to lead with him waking up with powers,
Okay.
right?
Right.
And when you say, because right now your lead is the bad guys have powers,
Right.
and then you happen to mention that he has powers also.
So you want it to come first, basically.
Yeah, he's the main
Right.
character.
Right. You got it.
All right. Does anyone else have any criticisms of Nasser?
Just in general.
I think he's a sweet boy. I really do. So.
Let me see.
I just chortled and flung a booger on my screen. Thanks.
Thanks for sharing.
Oh man.
I think the puppet should read Nasser's pitch.
Uh-oh.
That's you, Donnie. I don't think he's talking about my puppets.
I don't have his pitch. But yeah, my kid just woke up, so I'm gonna mute myself until he stops.
All right.
Hopefully the vacuum or the toilet doesn't show up again.
What? Oh.
Huh?
Oh, right. That last time he dropped out, it was like all this manic noise.
Oh, I've got Slick Jimmy's pitch right in front of me. This is actually pretty good.
All right, let's hear it.
All right. Is this okay, Slick Jimmy? You mind if I read this?
Of course, man. It's fine.
All right. And this is again for Sugar Lightspeed, the little girl Lethal. Here we go. In a titanic megalopolis on the knife edge of an unknown Armageddon, one beautiful yet terribly dangerous girl, heir to uncanny abilities, is the catalyst for epochal change. Probably not the strongest word right there.
Yeah.
If we were reading scripture, it's good, but it's not a resonant word. But I get it. But she is going to save the world or utterly destroy it. The maiden of mayhem, the damsel of destruction, the angel of the apocalypse. Her name is Sugar Lightspeed, the little girl Lethal.
That works.
Nice.
I like it.
Honestly, I would
is-
start with that maiden of destruction damsel of destruction line. That's kind of catchy. I would start with that.
Put it right up front. Yeah, put it right up front so all the description of her is not backloaded. Yeah, that's not a bad idea, Jim.
Oh, it's time to
But
swap
at
around.
the same time, I like the contrast of this I don't want to say innocent, obviously this sweet pretty little girl in this crazy megalopolis. Even though that word doesn't just roll off the tongue, the contrast to me is visually delightful. So
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
delightful.
So it's good to read things through. Like if I'm recording something for somebody, sometimes it'll take me hours because I'll read it through slow a couple times and then I pick it up and then find the right tone for it. Everybody who's writing their pitches for Indiegogo, though, read them out loud because now it's kind of, that when we're selling your books, we're going to read your pitches on a stream, right? Your log lines and your first paragraph matter is going to get read on stream. So make sure it sounds good out loud and make sure there's not like a 30-word sentence.
Plus, these little pitches are just great thing. Like I'm having Edwin. That's why I sent him those little commercial scripts because we're gonna just make little commercials, and it's a teaser. It is a teaser, and the point of a teaser is to give people enough of a taste of something that they want to take a full bite. Right?
You know what had really great pitches? The beginning to every episode of the Powerpuff Girls.
Did it have a story summary?
I'm
Powerpuff
serious,
Girls.
right? It was like,
Yeah,
welcome.
Don't play.
Welcome
The
to
writing
this.
in the Powerpuff Girls was great.
Mhm.
My daughter was that age at the time, and that was on, and I was like, man, they have
Yeah.
really good writers on this show.
Each episode, it was like, welcome to the city of Townsville, a sleepy town, a quiet town where evil bides its time. You know, and then we introduced the heroes, and it was good.
That's the contrast again, right?
Yeah,
Right,
I remember one. It was
bringing
just
conflict right into that real quick opening pitch. So
yeah, I remember one. It was just the city of Townsville is under attack, and that was it.
Yeah.
Townsville, George, are you there?
Greetings, everyone. Yes,
What's
I am.
up, George? Have you been following the program?
Yes, it has been fascinating. I was eating at the time. I didn't even see an invite. I was just curious, and I found it very fascinating.
Well, your turn. I hate to put you on the spot, but you're on the spot.
Okay, well, gee, let me take the food out of my teeth and.
No.
We can't
Don't
see
lead a pitch with hygiene notes.
All right, I'm gonna pick something at random off the top of my head. How about this one? A 30-year-old foul-mouthed detective has to relearn her social skills when she wakes up 15 years in her past.
It's interesting.
Yeah, short, concise. I like that.
The only thing that would improve it would be like an era indicator. So we don't know if she's waking up in 2019 or if she's waking up in 1819. But yeah, if you had a time indicator in there, waking up in her past is kind of like a cool little concept. That's a cool little brain worm.
Yeah, but what is it? Shouldn't it? You give some indication of what kind of problems that actually causes for her.
Yes, that would be within the story, but the mystery is in itself, why did she wake up 15 years in her past? I'm just throwing this out there. I'm trying to keep it as mysterious.
No. Even bringing that up, that's another thing I was going to mention earlier. In a pitch, it's like if you leave an open-ended question in the pitch, it does lead the audience to want that question answered.
I see.
Just you saying that does actually add a little intrigue to your pitch.
Okay. I'll throw another one in.
All right.
A medical robot's first mission ends him up 600 years in the past, and the only way home is to live through the history of Canada.
Sold. That's
it.
Great that you gave it a little flip just at the end. That was rad. Although that is Bender's story in The Simpsons.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me do that again with my best.
Am I blacked out? Am I gone?
Nope, you're still here. But you went quiet for a second.
Sean, he was saying, go ahead and let yours rip.
Oh, me? Okay. Let me pull it up here. All right, I just it's a little long. I know it's a little long, but
oh, now you have our complete attention.
All right.
Go ahead. Everyone get ready.
Got my pillow.
Yeah.
Okay. In the year 2051, the afterlife is for sale. It's called Glory, a virtual paradise so perfect the dead are desperate to escape. Miles Armstrong is a recovery agent, downloading the dead on the graveyard shift.
Stop. Before you start, just that first part was great. Just say that again and end it.
Okay. In the year 2051, the afterlife is for sale. Glory, a virtual paradise so perfect the dead are desperate to escape.
That's great. That's great. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, definitely.
There it is. There's your hook.
Well, I got a whole bunch of things about the character if you want to hear that too.
I told him on his Indiegogo page he needs to have something to tie it back to the character, because his book's name is so great. So since this is book number 2, you want to know at least an entry into who the ferryman is.
Mm.
Yeah, so going to that next part, Sean, I'm curious as to hear what else is there, because I think it could use some more meat than just that initial sentence.
Okay,
But it's a great hook. That is a great hook by itself.
all right.
Sounds like it worked because John wants to hear more.
There you go.
All right. Miles Armstrong is a recovery agent, downloading the dead on the graveyard shift and working for the day he can afford to buy his way into glory. When one of the inventors is found murdered on his shift, Miles is attacked and left for dead. His night's haul of downloaded souls stolen. Now haunted by his experience, he sets out on a journey to discover if glory is a lie.
No, that's good. That's good.
Did you?
I think there was
shifting? Yeah, go ahead.
I think there was one line in there that just could have been omitted, and then it could have started back up at attacked and left for dead. I would have to hear it again to know what it was. It was something about another character, I think, in there.
Oh, the inventor?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
How's it?
Yeah, I can excise that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just to boil it down. You don't want to introduce too much twists and turns right into the pitch. You want a pretty much a straight line for people visually, to build into their head. And when you're dealing with me, and I probably am the prime customer for comics, guys. I'm like ADD, and once you start throwing in, these kind of, I'm like, huh? What? So.
Wolfdog117 in the chat says, "I want this book now." So yeah, there you go.
Well, it'll be up for on Indiegogo in a couple of days. So.
The magic of a good pitch. Ben Henderson says for $1.99. Sorry, man, my laptop died. I'll catch you later. That was a terrible Ben Henderson, but whatever.
Hey, Sean, is there any way for people to get your first copy of your book?
The first issue?
Yeah.
It will be available on the Indiegogo campaign. Right. We're doing a 2-for special.
I'm gonna shill for him because it's one of the first book that came out in this whole thing, and it hit me. I wasn't expecting what I got, and when I did get it, I was intrigued. I really was. And I was immediately. I told Sean, we've been friends for a while now, how much I really liked it, and I was waiting for the next issue. And I say everybody who hasn't had a chance to look at the Ferryman, you should go out and back this second one so you can get the first copy as well.
Yep. Right on. Dynamo says we're all refunding Nasser and backing Ferryman number 2.
Yay! I don't need that kind of heat.
Hey, I actually have to run and put my daughter to sleep, but not to sleep, to bed. That sounds wrong. Anyway. You know what I mean?
Take her out?
Bad wording from the professor. Okay, I gotta go though, but I'll put me in. I'll see you later. Bye.
Yeah,
later, dude.
All right. Dumbest Name drops $5 on me and says, $29.89. Cruel gods rule. Guns, katanas, debauchery, and high-tech gladiator games are all that matter at Diosin City until young man shows up to cheat. That doesn't really roll, Dumbest Name, but it's a good start. It's a good start. You're going to have to massage that a little bit. Chris, have you figured it all out yet?
I'm getting there. I'm trying to work something new, something to twist it up a little bit. So give me a second.
All right.
Or a minute.
Edwin, you want to read that Deal with the Devil one again? It just sounded
the Deal with the Devil one? Yeah, let me pull that back up. Let's see. So I had closed that out, but I can get that back open pretty quick. Let's see. Mike S. Miller, the Smiller.
Yeah, I think with Nasser, it's he just needs to understand
everything,
how to read. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he's just young. He is young.
Let's see if we can give it a more.
It's funny you keep saying Smiller because there is a character in my book called the Smiler. It's kind of a cyborg abomination that with a mouthful of razor sharp teeth.
It's funny. I have a guy in my book called Giggles.
All right. Let's see if we can give you a more
I have a guy in my
up-tempo.
book called Bob.
Let's see if we can give you a more up-tempo pitch. This is, someone said, Edwin, it's too drawn out. I get it. I'm doing cold reads. Here we go. Anthony Goodwin, an FBI manhunter who finally cornered his greatest enemy. Or did he? Trapped, maimed, left to die. He loses his leg, his job, his faith, pushes away his friends, his family. He sits alone in his apartment and waits for death to knock on his door. And then it does. The man who ruined him offers Anthony a chance for redemption or revenge. One will save the life of an innocent. One will cost him his soul. What price will he pay to make a deal with the devil?
I want to read that book now.
I'll leave for the movie.
Well, hopefully they'll freaking finish it. That'd be
But
great.
seriously?
Wait, what now?
Yeah, it's at a production company in Hollywood, but it's been there for a while. It's got a director, it's got a screenplay. We're looking for an A-list actor to take up the role so we can pitch it to studios.
Cool.
Oh,
But
sweet, dude.
you can get the trade of the story itself on themegcomic.com. Always be closing. ABC. Always
Yeah,
be.
but now that I know that it's going to be a movie, I don't want to. I'll literally just wait.
I can't sign the movie. Well, technically I could sign the movie, but shut up.
When does the reboot come out?
When does what?
When does the reboot come out?
2 years after the movie.
It'll be halfway through the movie. It'll just start over.
Cold Piece, it's Deal with the Devil on themegcomic.com. The link is in the description. It says buy the Meg Pack. You can get three books, over 400 pages worth of comic book goodness by myself. No, it's not Theme G.
By the way, I got my Lone Star. It was actually really good. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I got
Dude,
your
Van
Lone
Alien-
Star too, man. Thank you for a book. It was good.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I
I,
don't
didn't
have
get my
mine.
sketch though.
Donald, you got yours, right?
Yeah, but I didn't get my sketch.
You didn't?
Did you send that separately or something?
Oh, did you get a sketch cover?
No, I'm just kidding. I wanted to give you a heart attack on stream.
Yeah. Jude Van Alien asks, do they have the rights or will they revert back to you if they don't make it? Here's a weird thing. The rights were optioned by Lionsgate once upon a time, but Lionsgate was under a I forget what they call it. It's a hostile takeover, and so they jettisoned everything that hadn't been in production, and then it landed at another production company. But this production company, like Lionsgate, is a movie studio, so they pay for options. Production companies nowadays don't pay for options, so I own all the rights. And so they're doing all this stuff like with the assumption that I'm going to grant them the rights if it gets a deal from a movie studio. So actually at that point, it's actually better for me because if they have like director, A-list talent, movie deal, and they're like, wait, who owns the rights? And I'm like, that would be me. So then I get my lawyers involved. So
Wow,
hopefully.
guys, I'm gonna have to go and cook some dinner for the family.
All right, Jimmy.
I'd like to thank John for his kind words about my voice. And
Oh yeah, Jimmy. Oh yeah. Let me go Antonio on you. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And Donald just for being cool, and Critias for being even more cool.
Thank
and
you.
Sean, you're my bro. Take care. Thank you, Mike.
All right, take care, dude.
Bye bye.
All right.
I was going to say he didn't thank Nasser, but Nasser's gone apparently.
Yeah, Nasser
Yeah,
left.
Nasser left.
I don't know why. Prettiest.
Jeez, Antonio, come on.
Got a room full of people.
Hello. Oh, sorry, I had my mic muted. No, I was saying that I'm still working out this rough that I got. New rough. So I'm trying to like smooth out the bumps in this paragraph.
Yeah.
Maybe you should send it to Edwin and let him do a quick edit.
Yeah, I can do that.
What am I being volunteered for?
Everything.
I'll throw another one at you.
Yeah. What about your book?
My book?
No, George.
What about it?
Your Indiegogo.
Pitch it, homie. Pitch it. We're talking about pitching stories. He asked about your book. This is your
Oh,
chance
okay.
to say, bam, go.
Joe King is the lowest goal, the lowest backed success story on Comicsgate. And the long form pitch on it, existence is threatened by an invasion that started at the dawn of time, and the only hope of defeating the universal threat sits with an at-large group of galaxy police misfits. At-large usually describes characters out and about doing mischievous things.
So it's Police Academy during the apocalypse.
Very good.
Yeah, but you legit lost me when you started degrading your book.
Yeah, that's not a good look. Don't degrade your book.
Like the
This
lowest
is what I
funded
tell
success.
everybody.
No, I think that's an achievement in itself. It's a badge of honor, actually.
But it just made me think, why wasn't it more successful?
Yeah.
I think what he's saying, he had one of the most modest goals, and so he's been successful. But never make it sound like you're talking down your own work. You always want to make your own work sound appealing.
Okay, understood. Got it. All right. Well, let me throw.
Oh, was that your actual pitch? I thought it was just a joke. I thought it was like a spin.
Well, everything in Joe King is a joke.
I can hear him.
Dad jokes, Henny Youngman jokes, you name it.
Take my wife, please.
Exactly. Or you stole my wife, you horse thief.
Oh, this is for Joe King? The book that Ethan is all excited about? That pitch definitely did not make me understand why he's excited about this book.
It's not?
No.
Oh,
Mike, or Edwin, is there anything in Mike's pitch for the Meg that gets lost? Like a mother, a leg?
Probably several people.
Let's see. I'm bringing up the Indiegogo page. See what we got here.
In the belly of a giant shark.
I think it's essentially just theme G movie yada yada. Let's see. There's actually in the top matter. There's not much of a pitch, just aside from a reference.
Oh, just trying to run on that Hollywood cachet.
Yeah, it's well. He's got the reference to New York Times best-selling book, worldwide
the movie.
Yeah.
Theme G.
His lead for Six Gun Samurai is good, and that's a sharp one.
Yeah, he cares about that. Yeah.
Also, from Mark Schmiller comes Six Gun Samurai, a boy in the Old West, trained as both sharpshooter and samurai swordsman, is put to the test when his mother is killed. Dope. Oh no, his mother's gone. But no, in that paragraph right there, the only thing that is an actual pitch directly to the story is the Six Gun Samurai. The other is sort of a reference to the fame of the material for the Meg. I've never seen the movie. I don't even think I've seen a full preview for the Meg. It's got Well, I don't watch TV. It's got that one action English guy, right, who plays in all the Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah,
Jason Statham.
Yeah. Does he punch the shark in the movie? What happens?
Of course, he punches the shark.
That was actually pretty good.
Fuzzy Creature says, now this gets down to a different question. How to present your Indiegogo page? John, do you have any suggestions on that?
Since
you do have the highest grossing.
All right, let me pull up my page, and I'll actually use this as kind of pro and con. So just give me a second here, guys.
I like how Mike trailed off when he said, "You have the highest gross."
Yeah.
Second highest.
Stickers are fun.
Second highest.
Yeah, I only ran for the allotted time.
Sorry, we can't hear you, John. What?
Yeah, didn't run an in-demand store for 7 months later.
Oh.
Hey, look at freaking Red Rooster, man. He just let that thing go, and it just keeps trickling in and trickling and trickling. It's freaking $180,000 now.
What that from that promo I made from him the other day, I think it kicked up somewhere between another 15 and 20 sales. Another 15 to 20
Wow.
sales. Yeah. All right, hey, Megalyn, I've got a pitch for something, and a leg is lost. You ready?
Is it Tank Heist?
Yeah.
You ready?
Mhm.
All right, so this is True Faith and Allegiance, and it is the Three Musketeers meets Iron Man. Let's see. In the streets of Iraq, Corporal McKinney saves the life of his commander at the cost of his own legs, turning to an experimental military exoskeleton project. Now Corporal McKinney and Dr. Takagawa are on the run from the agents of a ruthless global corporation. Fighting for their lives, they turn to Captain Michael Eason for help. Now, the bonds of brotherhood, and armed with Dr. Takagawa's inventions, they're taking the fight to them. Down and dirty. What do you think? Three Musketeers meets Iron Man. Could I sell it?
Those sirens were well timed.
Yeah.
That's my only criticism.
Yeah.
I
Once the sirens hit, I'm zoned in on the sirens. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
Who's killing somebody?
I want to learn more about the sirens.
Someone put some production into this.
All right, you want to lock up on me, Mike, and I'll just kind of walk through this real quick.
Edwin, I think I don't know. I think it's a little long.
Yeah. No, it's right off the top and not.
Oh, he muted himself. Or John didn't
Hello.
mute.
Okay.
All right,
guys.
Indigo.
So this is the Graveyard Shift campaign. It's closed, so don't worry. I'm not trying to sell anybody anything, but I wanted to just kind of lay out. Obviously the title. Put a video up here. Now Edwin likes to have it to where you have right here below. I'm sure it's an easy thing to do. But I haven't done it before. But you can actually insert like 5 items, something like that, right underneath here, where you can just click on it and it'll change this image into an image on another, a different JPEG, and you just kind of show people, click on through it. That's one of the big.
Yeah, it's on the last. It's on when you're going through that list of stuff where you the pages where you can add things. It's on for some reason. It's on the last page. It's like they bury it.
Okay, yeah. So I know Edwin. That's one of his big criticisms for this, and I try to point that out to people. That hey, if you do have access to more information, it probably doesn't hurt to throw it down there. So you can just click on it. Just be sure that anything that you're putting down there to click on is pure gold and killer material. You don't want any
video.
Yeah,
Please.
you don't want anything weak.
Don't have a boring video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This thing's got music put into it. I narrate it again. I'm not the guy for it, but someone had to do it, so it was going to be me. The overview, I think this kind of requires you to keep it short and sweet. But again, just I definitely want to see the page count set up in here. And if I can't tell right away that it's color, which you can, if it's going to be a black and white book, write that it's going to be a black and white book in there. Other than that, here's the quick pitch. For the story, I minimize this information. I only put this in afterwards because people are like, John, your thing's not coming up, and you need to type your name in here somewhere, so it'll start registering on like Google searches and stuff.
All right.
So I went in here afterwards and I added that. But I tell people all the time that lead right away with just whatever stuff that's going to sell. Make it look good. And these things here sell. So, you know, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
What things sell? I don't know what you mean.
Oh yeah. Beautiful women, bodacious bodies.
Actually, you have something in common with Kyung Lee's Indiegogo, and you've got this very long rectangular image with a beautiful image. And so what that does, you want to see this full image, right? So you have to scroll down. Well, as you scroll down, you're getting deeper and deeper into the different tiers, and it's pulling somebody in. It pulls people in to your pitch.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, and then here we go. You know, shows some things. Guy in a regeneration tank comes out. He's all kind of zombie, but in the background there's the whales. So that's another thing. Like, what's up with these kind of whales back there? Old scary castle, crucifixes. I'm implying that there's Dracula and his 3 brides here. So there's a big crucifix. It's all tied up. There's a portrait here. Guy walking down with the torch. Looks cool. And then there we go. Here's a vampire with a crucifix through its chest. I'm trying to be careful not to give away too many details. But yeah, then just a cool little deal here.
On your Indiegogo page.
Fish guy. Huh?
What do you mean you're trying to not to give them away? It's on your Indiegogo.
No. By talking about certain points in the book. Okay. If you read the book, Mike, you know what I'm talking about.
Get here.
Yeah. So, anyways, and then a cool actioner double page splash, and I mean this thing goes back and back and back into the distance. There's a ship here. There's a guy standing there in front of a glass here. Boom, boom, boom. All these guys up here. Big, crazy, awesome double page splash action. So the point being, I want me personally. I like seeing all the art up front. I'm an art guy first, so I want to be wowed and dazzled by these images, and then all the information, all that stuff that will, for me, it will just zone me out, and I'll drift away. I tucked it down here. Now this got longer and longer as the campaign went on. Mm-hmm. So originally it was just whatever. It was just this. Oh no, actually that's having matter funding goal. So there, I had one paragraph below it. So you guys wouldn't be reading this so long that you drift off. You'd read just enough information to come back up here if you're interested and click, whatever tier you want. Boom, and then buy it. So hit them over the head with the art. We're all visual comic book fans. Most people are art fans. And all the story information, boil it down to right here. And that's it. People don't need to know about you. They don't need to know about your history as an artist or where you're coming from, anything about that. They really don't need to know a whole heck of a lot about the characters. They need the big picture stuff. And get them excited. And then all that stuff, all the character details are in the book. So
what if you were the world's foremost foot artist? Should you put that in your blurb?
What if you have a New York
I think your art will show that. Sell it with the images.
What if you have a movie based on the project that you're doing?
Show clips from the movie.
I know my original commercial. I just grabbed a Meg commercial and I put it in the video.
Yeah, and I was like, Mike, what are you doing putting that in there? Oh, well, it's a movie. I'm like, are you afraid someone might have problems with that? Oh, no, it's fine. Okay.
Yeah, I got $10. Do you want to read that?
Yeah. This is one of my frequent audience members. Good guy, Michael Beacon. And he says, an orphan becomes a samurai and dreams of the life of an angel. As rival clans threaten those he loves, and an interstellar war threatens the galaxy itself. 7 Legions, available on Comic Central.
Wow, that went. What do you call it?
Oh, did I robot out?
No. I mean the pitch itself. It went from really local to like intergalactic.
Well, it lost me at someone that dreams of the life in an angel. Like right there, everything you said after that, I was like, huh? Because I'm like, what's dreaming of the life of an angel? What does that mean?
That's kind of obscure.
Malin dreams of being a demon. We get
Yeah,
it.
I can't connect with it. It's not universal. Like it doesn't tell me anything. You dream of the life of an angel.
Oh, are you trying to say like an orphan becomes a samurai and mourns his lost innocence or something like that? Is that the life of an angel as being a good person, not having?
Oh, I think an angel in his story is like a centurion. So maybe it should be like.
Yeah, you need to in your quick pitches. It has to be stuff that everybody understands on a basic level. So I think that's the same thing with Slick Jim. Is he's trying to use 50-cent words when he should be using 4th grade vocabulary. You need to really make sure that everybody you're speaking to understands everything that you're saying in your initial pitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, I don't even know what was said after the angel stuff, so I imagine it was probably good. Yeah. That's what I mean. That's what I mean, guys. Like, if it's not a straight line for me, if I'm getting hung up, like that's where that kind of ADD starts kicking in. And believe me, guys, a lot of people are just like me. So, you want to sell to them, with a very clean line.
Right. All right, Critias, we've given you plenty of time, and I want to wrap this stream, so pitch it.
No, it's not ready, Mike.
Oh my gosh, dude.
I'll read it. I'll read it, but it's not ready. It's not ready. It's not ready.
Yeah, Spotted Pig says, John, the picture of the lady in yellow was basically what made me buy Graveyard Shift. Yeah, thank you, Spotted Pig. Appreciate it.
So you're saying I should have put that one shot with the girl pulling on her wetsuit for the Meg?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm saying that shot of Zashi being similar to that is not unintentional.
Hmm.
All right, I'm ready.
Yep. All right, go.
It's not ready, but it's something work in progress right now. So it goes. Joel Anthony Scorn, a world-famous 1932 detective, is brought back to life with unique abilities in modern-day Rusty Belt City after being murdered during a rare phenomenon. However, he finds himself targeted by criminals from his past who have powers of their own, including the man that murdered him and his
You still missed him getting powers.
No, I said it. He brought back to life. Yeah, with unique abilities in modern day Rusty Belt City.
Hold on, running back from the top real quick.
And bad guys having powers isn't the same thing. And get rid of all the superfluous stuff. Dude, text me what you have. I'll clean it up.
All right. Right now.
Well, that's going. I'll throw another one at.
All right, good, George. Good.
An out-of-date robot auctioned off due to downsizing must save humanity
so-
from the very company that sold him.
I missed the last part. Say it again.
Okay, I'll just throw it out again. An out-of-date robot auctioned off due to downsizing must save humanity from the very company that sold him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's not bad.
All right.
I'm not sure that I care about him, but
Edwin or John, take over for a minute so I can.
Edwin, yeah, go ahead. Read another pitch, Edwin.
Read another pitch. Whose pitch am I reading? Let's take a look at Critias's pitch again. I think he sent that to me. Let's see. Joe Anthony Scorn. No, it's just Joe Scorn.
Yep. Detective, and you can just wrap it up with. Let me just edit it.
Detective Joel Scorn.
Right.
Detective Joel Scorn is murdered in 1932. He finds himself awake and alive in modern-day Rusty Belt City. Rusty Belt City.
Get rid of that. You don't need the name of the city.
Yeah. Is it set in 2018, 2019?
Modern day is basically like our time.
Modern times, yeah.
Yeah, modern times. Yeah, I would just call him Detective Joel Scorn. Mm-hmm. Joel Anthony Scorn is a lot of names all at once.
Right.
Detective Joel Anthony Scorn is murdered in 1932. Now he finds himself alive in modern times, resurrected and imbued with superpowers Period.
Probably supernatural abilities.
Supernatural abilities. Okay. Period. But he's not alone. Surprisingly, shockingly, what's a leading word? He finds himself. He discovers the men who killed him, the men who murdered him, or in the current era with powers of their own.
Wait, was that you correcting things along the way, Edwin?
Yeah. I'm just making it up as I go. I'm trying to find.
Yeah,
out
that's
the
what I'm saying.
meat-
I'm
the
trying
meat
to
of
I'm
it.
trying to edit it off screen so that I can
Now-
read it clearer.
Now, Detective Scorn. Just keep with Detective Scorn.
Okay.
Right? Detective Scorn, because you call him Detective Dead. Now Detective Scorn must master his newly discovered powers to rescue his partner's kidnapped granddaughter. It's his partner's granddaughter, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's two things. He's trying to, you don't hopefully avenge. You avenge, but you don't hopefully avenge, right? Because there's no hope in avenge. It's just a reckoning.
Right.
Now Detective Dead must master his new powers. Must master his new powers to rescue his partner's granddaughter and avenge his family's death.
Maybe the grandfather of his old partner.
Yeah, she's the granddaughter of his partner from back in the days.
Yeah, I'm saying to spin it around the other way.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. The granddaughter, that makes sense. That way you don't blur the focus, yeah.
Right.
Whoa. Pull a microphone out of your mouth there. It's getting a little deep throating. Is this a comic book pitch, or are you reading War and Peace over here? Okay, you had me at erection superpowers. You had me at erection superpowers. I want to know more about that. I could use a little help.
All right, I got it. Let me pitch this for you.
That's what she said.
In Edwin's voice. All right. Detective Joel Scorn, murdered in 1932, is brought back to life with supernatural abilities in modern times. But he did not come back alone. Targeted by criminals from his past who have also been given powers, Joel must master his own. Oh, gosh, too many times you say powers. I should fix that. Joel must master his powers to rescue the only family he has left and avenge their death, or his family's death. Sorry, I should have edited a little.
You're close. Yeah.
Yeah, like the only family he has left. Even though it's the granddaughter of his partner,
Right.
you can still count that as family, and it's more of an emotional.
Yeah. It works that way too. Yeah, it is the only family he has left. Like the only thing alive to a family.
Mm-hmm.
Never attach an aspirational word to vengeance, though.
Right.
Vengeance is either cold, it's bloody, it's hard, but it's not, you know what I mean? It's not hopeful, it's not, we'll give it a try. It's, yeah, he's going to go make some people dead because they
Sounds like my last date.
Oh, it sounds like the Nasser Rabati School of Romance.
What about something like this? A
Maybe you
resurrected.
can send me that picture guy, and I'll work overnight with it.
Nice.
What about this? A resurrected
keep working on it till I
detective
get it
is
right.
the only thing that stands between his grandchildren and monsters.
Well, it's not his grandchildren.
And monsters gets a little vague. I mean,
Well,
laying down that they are people brought back from the past, also imbued with special abilities. I
Right.
think that's closer to the plot.
Yeah, sometimes what I've noticed, it's always good to have a third party help you with your pitch because you know your story backwards and forwards, right? And so you've got all these little details that nobody else has. And it makes sense to you.
Right.
And so it's always good. Jayashiro Finney is good at this stuff. Professor Geek is actually really good. Michael Kreitzer, the guy we had in earlier, he's good at helping people with their pitches.
Right.
Yeah.
But what were you saying, John, earlier? You had a beautiful point, and that should be repeated. I think you were talking about directional words.
Like making your pitch a straight line.
Yeah.
Here's a straight line, John. Here,
Yeah.
I think I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Detective Joel Scorn, murdered in 1932, is brought back to life in modern times, but he didn't come back alone. Hunted by the criminals who murdered his family, he must master his new abilities in order to save the only family he has left.
Bam, that's it.
Yeah, that's great. That's
Yeah.
great.
That sounds good. I want to watch that movie.
That's it.
Well done, George.
Well done.
That's
Well
awesome.
done. Did you get all that, Critius?
Yeah, let me hear everyone's voice now, so I can snip it later.
All right, let me forward it to
That's pretty good, Mike. I love that pitch. I was already into it as soon as you started.
Yeah, you can just feel it when it's right, and that's right.
Oh, good.
See,
This is How Do I Pitch My Book on Blacklist Universe, episode 1. Probably the
and
only
this
episode.
this is short.
Edwin, I
This is
tried
short
to-
too. Let's see. Do I have my mic muted? Is that what you said?
No, I said I DM'd it to you.
Okay, got it.
All
This
right.
is nice and short too. Here we go. Detective Joel Scorn, murdered in 1932, is brought back to life in modern times, but he didn't come back alone. Hunted by the criminals who murdered his family, he must master his new abilities in order to save the only family he has left. Nice. Well done.
That's it.
Well
That's
done.
Did
really
you robo
good.
out? Did he robo out to anybody else?
No, it sounded
No.
great. Sounded great.
Okay,
Yeah, it was good.
cool.
Oh, awesome.
Jason wants you to do that in a deeper voice.
I need you to do it better.
I always hate it when they tell me to go deeper.
If I record something for somebody, sometimes it'll take me hours and hours just to get that little bit, like a little snippet like that, to make it sound good.
Right. It was really good. That's like a movie pitch. That's a pitch I'm gonna use when I pitch it as a movie.
Your pitch should not be a novel.
Right, right.
Sean Tillman says, "No, we want more. Episode 1 of many." I mean, how many times can we say the same thing?
We can.
I don't know.
vet-
That NASA
vet-
guy doesn't seem to get it. You probably bring him on here every day and tell him how to pitch his books.
Still wouldn't get it.
pitching
That's the
an
point.
answer.
Episode 400.
You know, you could do, Mike. Like if people out there who have Indiegogos, they can mail you their pitches, and you
I'm
work
not
it.
gonna edit everybody's pitches in the freaking community. We'll let Edwin do that.
Charge him $100.
Just looking at this puppet in the hangout where he's just looking dead on at you, you almost kind of want to fist fight him.
So the guy that looks like he's in witness protection program talking on a TV thing.
It looks like he's giving you that horrid look, like, "What's up, buddy?" What's up?
Is John Gotti chasing you down? Is John Gotti chasing you down?
At least his expression is more believable than Brie Larson's.
Yes.
Oh,
It is a
snap.
more animated face. Yes.
No, that wouldn't be hard. She says it's kind of emotionless. A brick wall has more expression than her.
All right, guys. Well, I think we've solved everyone's problems. Sean, you're good with your pitch now?
Accept answers.
Up to you guys. Do you guys have any further critiques on that?
You want to try it again? You want to shoot it at us one more time? I think it was pretty good. So.
Sure. Let me pull it up here real quick. And I know we said not to read it, but yes, I am reading it. So.
Yeah, well, we're doing all these on the fly. It's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until you memorize it.
All right on. Okay. In the year 2051, the afterlife is for sale. Glory, a virtual paradise so perfect, the dead are desperate to escape. Miles Armstrong is a recovery agent, downloading the dead on the graveyard shift and working for the day he can afford to buy his own way into glory. Attacked and left for dead, his night's haul of downloaded souls are stolen. Now, haunted by his experience, he sets out on a journey to discover if glory is a lie.
Good. George?
Sounds good. You want me to throw another pitch?
Do Joe King again. We're trying to sell your book.
Okay.
Try not to sound like you're doing cups and strings from 1945.
I can't hear George at all.
You're talking
right.
to a walkie-talkie or something all of a sudden?
All right. Well, okay. So much pressure. Okay, here we go. Joe and his pals take on trivial missions that jeopardize life, the universe, and everything else.
It's too
Is
vague.
that it? Is that
It's too vague. Am I wrong, guys, or is that too vague?
Yeah, I have no idea what he
That was
just
a little vague, yeah.
So we've discovered that pitching can be a lot of work to condense something down into just a couple of sentences.
Or it can be a lot of work to take a couple of sentences and make it not be vague.
Yep.
It goes both ways. There's a fine balance to giving enough information that it interests people, but not so much information that it bores them.
Samurai Sid has a one-line pitch, and it is amazing. He says that Theme G is a secret agent who moonlights as a comic pitch editor. I'd read that. I'd watch that show. Wait, we are.
Subscriber for $5 says, Mike, new pitch. Private Eye Richard Knight is Ghost who possesses his own brain-dead body. I call it Spook. Yeah.
pass?
Mike, don't send me that pitch. Text me that. Email me that pitch or Twitter that pitch to me, whatever.
Wait, what?
If you can. Oh, you got it. Never mind. I got it.
Yeah, I DM'd it to you.
Cool. Appreciate it.
And I don't know. Are we gonna massage George's pitch before I gotta feed my kids? It's 10 already. Oh,
Well, you can leave it as a cliffhanger for episode 2.
All right, Donald, you're not. Are you want to pitch Brutus again?
Ain't nobody massaging nothing over here. Link in the chat. You need to calm down there. Calm down. I can pitch the Brutus for you. I can pitch the Brutus. Okay. Brutus the Badass. It's a comic book. It's about a guy with the big hairdo that goes around in space and he fights people and it's cool. Buy it.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, we might need to massage that one.
Look, okay.
But we're not doing it on this show because I gotta feed my children.
Look, you're Asian. Okay, so you're only halfway there to the happy ending.
Guys, go check out Tales from the Stacks by Professor Geek. I got a cover on there. It's not a pitch, it's a plug. So
it's a plug. Yeah, plug away, everybody. TheMegComic.com. The Meg Pack is in the description for all those great pitches that Edwin gave you for Deal with the Devil and for Six Gun Samurai. Do go check those out. And check out everybody else's book, Detective Dead by Critias, Brutus the Badass by Donald, George's Joe King, Sean's The Fair. Oh, it's not. Yours isn't up yet, right?
No, it'll be up in a couple of days. People can follow me at Sean Campbell for more updates on that.
All right. The Ferryman Part 2.
Yep.
Ferryman's Revenge.
I will say though, this has been very helpful, this workshopping thing, because I mean, I've been agonizing over that little blurb for the last 2 days, and it's just I haven't gotten anywhere. Then all of a sudden, in like an hour, we kind of got it worked out.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, maybe I will do another episode of this sometime or something else. We'll figure it out.
Yes.
All right, thank you everybody for being here. Don't forget to sub to everybody here, including John Malin, who believes Flat Earth is real, but
it is real.
It's not a belief; it's fact.
Yeah, you saw the pictures. It's flat. It's like a plate.
All right, guys. Good night. I may or may not be on later tonight.
Flat Earth is real.
Take care, guys.
Later, everybody.